Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here, back to make another weekly update to my options trading journey. Making this video in the car with a sleeping 2-year-old, so let's hope for the best here. So what you see on the screen on this tab, this is my options watch list. The ones in blue are the ones I'm actively trading when I see an opportunity. The ones in gray are the soon-to-be ones I will trade when I can afford it. And what I mean by can afford is when I can afford to trade at least 10 contracts at the current price. So I can afford up to TNA, but when it comes to TQQQ and UPRO, they cost around 74 or 87,000 for 10 contracts. And, that's a little unaffordable at this very moment. My account is, it's actually up to 63,000. I had a really good week. But obviously, even with trading all of it, I still can't touch either one of those. And when I say 10 contracts, the reason I do that, that's just kind of like a rule I play. And it's because if I make a stupid move and I sell a put and, because these are all like double and triple leverage ETFs. So if I sell a put and it goes down like really, really bad, then at least I'll have more money to sell more puts and lower my cost basis, so I'm in it. I'm always in it. I don't want to be stuck holding the bag. That's really the goal here. We always want to be active and in it. Always be able to afford to sell puts or sell calls, and always be in the game making money. Anyway, enough of that. So what happened this week? So let's zoom out here. We could see what kind of trades I had that expired this week. Anything in gray would have been covered from the previous week, so we'll ignore that. So first, anything above that line, these are from the prior week, but they were active. So first we'll look at all the TSLLs. In short, I had a whole bunch. I sold a put on TSLL for 9, 950, 10, and 850. All of these were through earnings. So there was a lot of risk involved, and it was risky, and it was concerning because Tesla was actually dropping throughout the week. So if it had bad earnings, I would have been in big trouble, and I would have to, definitely save my cost basis. But it had really good earnings. So what happened is, and I could show you the ending price of TSLL for the week was actually $13.80, which is pretty insane, to be honest. So obviously $13.80 is above all of those strike prices I mentioned. The highest strike I had was 10. So all of those, if you scroll to the right, I did note expire worthless. So I got the collateral back on all of those. And then I did have an SOXL put. This one was up in the air up until like Friday morning. I sold a put for 34 strike, but SOXL actually closed at 35.28. So this one also expired worthless, and I got my money back. In that example, that's 3,400 back in pocket. Now this week I had a lot of trades, man. I went nuts. So what I do is I sold a put every day on TSLL until earnings, right? I sold a put on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And, I chose various strike prices. I went into the following week. You could see those top three, 8, 850, and 9, right? So what happened was earnings went so good that, it cost basically nothing to close these early. So I'm making a video, 10 minutes. See, I'm getting interrupted. That was the other kids, though, not the 2-year-old. Obviously. So, I did a buy to close, essentially, let's see the length of these contracts. 1 days, 2 days, and 3 days. So I closed them early. I paid pennies, as you can see, and I kept 93% on one, 92% on another, and 94% on the other. And obviously, my annualized basis is ridiculous because of that. And yes, now I am using 251 day rule, or 252, right? Let's go down here. Yeah, 252 trading days in a year. And the reason I do that is if my contract that I'm calculating the return on investment in does not include weekends, then I'm not going to include weekends on my annualized calculation. So anything in blue has that special calculation, okay? So those 3 puts, I did a buy to close early because, again, it cost pennies. Now, I sold a put next. This one is next on the list, SOXL. Because it was tanking, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll sell a put at 31 in case that other one got a sign. You know, the other one I talked about up there, 34. I'll sell a put lower at 31. It was 7.71% out of the money at the time. And I got what? 70, well, no, at the time, where does it show the, premium? It was $1. So $100 I got for that. But the next day, really, in 2 days, it only cost 28 cents to close. So I was able to close that one out, very early, keep 72% of the premium, did a buy to close, and annualized income ended up being 292%. Because if you get an opportunity to close some of these, especially like SOXL early, 1 to 2 days early, and you can keep 72% of your premium, again, this was going to expire the next Friday, not this, obviously this week, the next Friday. So I got my $3,100 back, and I ended up keeping $72 for that one. All right. So we talked about earnings on Tesla. They went well. So obviously all of my puts expired worthless, and I closed out the other ones early. So what do I do now? Well, as you may recall, I had 700 shares of TSLL with a 1050 average. 1150 cost basis. So what do? I can sell calls now because it went above 1150. But even if it was at like 1050, I would have been able to sell calls to get a reasonable income. So what I did was I sold calls at various strike prices. I started off with a here, let me get here, $13 strike, and then I did a $13.50, and we'll go down the line. I did a 14, a 14.50, a 12.50, and a 12, and a 15. So I'll show it. It'll make a little more sense on the other screen. But I basically sold calls on every single one of my shares. Why? Because I couldn't help it. It was up 40% one day, and then another 4% another day. I just have a feeling that it's worth the risk to just put all those shares to work. I don't think I'm going to get signed on all of them, but time will tell. And again, I'll show you on the TSLL wheel tab. It'll make a little more sense. I haven't really talked about how much I'm making for each share, but you can see in column M to get an idea. Obviously, for those calls, how much did I make? $32, $35, 38, 57. I made 127 to 170 because I went in the money, and then there's a $32 one there. But again, I don't want to go in too much detail, but you'll see the total amounts at the end. Also for TNA, I sold a put. I chose a strike price of 41. I closed it one day later, and I collected 55% of the total premium. So again, things have been going my way this week. This was a really, really good week. I don't think I could have another week like this in quite some time. So Bitex, Bitex and TNA were the only ones going down on Friday. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to sell more puts. So I sold a put on Bitex for 30, and I sold a put on TNA for 42. I collected $90 for the Bitex one and $132 for TNA. Annualized yields well over 100%. One is at 156% and the other at 163%. So yeah, man, just a really, really good week. I took the risk, and I played TSLL through earnings, not only through owning the physical shares, but I sold many, many puts through earnings, right? I had how many? I had the 3 here, and I had 7 puts going through earnings, and I also had 700 shares. So again, since earnings went well, obviously all things worked in my favor. So it was just a really good outcome, and I can't be, I'm grateful that things went my way. What can I say? So thank you, Tesla. Now, here's the kind of recap here. October income, man. Look at it. I have crossed $2,000. I'm at $2,139 for the month of October. Obviously, I destroyed my record, which was last month, of 1,696, which is absolutely insane. My annualized yield, again, 267%. I know that's crazy. It's all crazy, man. Options is crazy, especially when things, actually go in your favor. For a while, things haven't really been going in my favor, but my strategy kind of helps that. But overall, this week, it couldn't have been like a better week, to be honest. I got really lucky. But yeah, so that's the update there. Again, let me show you the TSLA wheel. So I had 100 shares, at 13, 12.50, 12. I got assigned all of these, various weeks, you could see. And my average cost basis down here, 11.50, right? So under columns F and G, I have pending calls. So what did I do? I spread my calls. I did a, in the money call. 12 and 12.50 were in the money. 13, I believe, was at the money at the time. 13.50, 14, and 14.50, and 15 were out of the money. So all of these calls expire November 1st. So TSLL is at 13.80. So I am at danger of selling the top three. The top four. And then we'll see what happens with the others. If it continues to go up, TSLL goes up above 15, then all of these are gone. But again, I'm okay with that. If TSLL goes down, I'm okay with that too, because then some of these will expire worthless, and I'll keep my shares and I'll sell calls on them again. Why? What can I sell calls at? I can sell calls at 11.50 or higher, because that's my cost basis. I actually did not even choose 11.50. I could have started 11.50 and made a lot of premium. However, I went down to 12, and I went up from there. So I wasn't even going to do 12 and 12.50, to be honest. I was just going to do higher and higher. But you know what? I said, this is kind of downside protection too. So if I do a 12 and a 12.50 and I end up not getting assigned, that premium that you saw I collected, like, it's so worth it. Look at that, 127 and 120. I'm sorry, 127 and 170. And again, those were 6.99% and 10.65% in the money. So the risk is obviously getting them called away. However, like I said, if TSLL goes down, then I can possibly get these shares back and keep that massive premium. So the put party is over, unfortunately. I'm not going to sell puts right now because look how much it costs. My cost base is 11.50. So if I sell puts at anything below 11.50, it's not going to be worth my time. So my job right now on TSLL is just to sell calls. So if any of these don't get assigned next week, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to let that expire worthless, and I'm going to trade them the following week. However, let me correct that. If TSLL does kind of crash next week, I can close these early, possibly, and maybe use them in the same week to sell more calls if it does recover. But if it's kind of a slow, flat week, these just all may expire worthless. Some may expire worthless, some may get assigned. Again, time will tell. We'll play it by ear. But that's where I stand. All of my 700 shares are working for me, paying me money. Lots of money. TNA, again, put party of one. No, I don't own any shares on them. I have a $42 put. That's kind of my lucky number with TNA. I'm always going to start with a $42 put. But yeah, $42 put that expires Friday. They're at $42.56 at the moment. BitTex, I have a $30 put for Friday, next Friday, obviously. Their current price is $30.79. I don't own any BitTex shares at this moment. SOXL, as mentioned, I did close that put early, so I have no outstanding puts on SOXL. All right, as far as income for the week, I mean, you're not going to believe this, but I destroyed my previous record of 579, and I made $952 this week. $952 in 1 week. And all I had to do was use $26,000 in capital. Again, a lot of things went my way, which can't always happen. But whatever, I'm happy. I'm going to go with it. I ended up yielding about 3.65%, which is amazing. By the way, if I annualize 952 a week, that comes to about $49,000 a year, which obviously that's not enough to retire, but still, it's pretty damn good. Again, so far, let me just do total income 7244. Let's do a spot check. 72 between the two. 72. I don't add these together. Probably should right here. $72.79. 7207. All right, whatever. It's around there. It's a 7200 something. Total options income earned from February starting this year. So really amazing stuff. Now, here's time for the hypothetical. Again, I did not adjust this. I meant to, but I didn't have time. But the bottom line is I've been annualizing, a rate of return 267%. I didn't adjust some of those those calls and contracts that I closed early within the week. Obviously, once I do that, my rate of return will go down a little, so I will look to do that at some point. But either way, using the current rate of return, I'm showing I only need $84,000 to retire, to make $225,000 a year. Obviously, we know that's not realistic, so I do use, essential, a high number. My high number is 168,000, and even that sounds ridiculous. So I up that another, 50% on top of that. So my high number is 252,000. I think I can retire on options easily, to be honest, on 252,000. I do. I don't see why not. And as my account grows, I will eventually turn it into probably an all options account. It's slowly getting there. I do invest in a lot of YieldMax still, and a couple others, FEPI and them. But at some point, if I don't need them, right, then I'm just going to trade everything options. Once I trust myself fully. Right now, I'm taking it easy. I'm doing low cost ETFs. But once I get into the high ones, I got to be, a little more careful. But I'm just having fun, man, making a decent amount of money. So as you can see, the income has been going up every week. I started with making $35 a week. I was happy then, and then I got up to like 100, which is insane. And then I got up to like 200, 300, 500. I almost broke 1,000 this week, and I could have, but I would have made a move, which I didn't want to. So I'm glad I didn't do that. You can't force things just because you want to hit a goal. But anyway, that's the update, guys, on this options trading journey. So the bottom line is, sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. This week, things went my way, and I am very, very grateful for that. I'm not going to say I planned this out like I knew something, because I didn't know shit about the earnings. Like I said, it could have went one way or the other, and I was prepared for both. Obviously, the preferred outcome happened. It could have went the other way, just as much as it went this way. So, and I understand that. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I knew it. No, I didn't know crap. But either way, it worked out in my favor, and I am capitalizing on this opportunity to make a lot of money because of that. I'm not going to fall in love with these shares. I'm not going to be sitting on these shares. As you can see, every single share is put to work. I sold calls every which way, in the money, at the money, out of the money. And they're all working for me. They're all earning premium for me. And you can see the annualized yields on the calls, right? The calls go anywhere from 121% all the way up to 660%. It's all up to you. How much do you want to sell it at? Just sell it above your cost basis. Outside of that, who cares, right? They get called away. Who cares? You play it again. I know TSLA is expensive right now, but it always comes back down, to earth at some point. At least that's what's happened historically. But, we'll see, man. Like I said, all I can say, very grateful for a really good week. My options trading journey is just, I'm having a blast. And I hope you guys can join me on the Discord. We have an options trading channel. Yes, the Discord's free. No, I will not direct message you guys. So as you join the Discord, please ignore any IMs from someone that looks like me. They're called retire something dividends, right? They rip off my name. It's not exactly my name, but it looks like my name with a logo. So just ignore the message. But yeah, come join the Discord. Come go right into the options channel. And if you're clueless about options, just say it. I need help, guys. What do I do? Where do I start? You know, or if you know options and you want to talk options, let's talk. We have, you know, all the different types of people, experts, newbies, degenerates like me, all over the board, right? It's a fun time, man. I'm telling you, don't miss out. It's a good time to learn options. All right, guys, I'll end it there because I'm getting lucky too. My 2-year-old's not awake. So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again next week. Also, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you really, really enjoy this content and you want to help me out, please share this video with your friends and family if you think they want to learn about options, okay? And outside of that, I really got nothing. But if you want to do something and make a comment on the video, how did you do with options this week? How much money did you make this week? And do you trade options on any other double or triple leverage ETFs that I'm missing out on? Either way, let me know down in the comments below. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Later.